I could freestyle about it, preach about it, or go off top of the head, but today I bought my notes so I could resurrect the dead. Yeah! Greetings and blessings to my navigators of the seven seas. I am your locksmith, your symbologist, and metaphysical tour guide, Flat Archie 5000, and I'm back with another one as we navigate through the land of Pioneer. Today we're going to unlock your Solomon's Temple to decode the esoteric and metaphysical meaning of heaven. So as always, strap on your helmet and buckle up your spacesuit because we're on a mental voyage and we're about to take off before the walls of Jericho come crumbling down. In the tradition of entering Solomon's Temple, we must use a meditative master key to help us stay on the path of enlightenment. It is these divine words that have a literal, allegorical, and metaphysical message attached to them when understood in its proper context. So today we give honors and respect to a philosopher and Hindu mystic known as Osho, who once said, "The real question is not if life exists after death. The real question is whether you are alive before death." Let me repeat it one more time for those of you who may have spent many earthly hours and days thinking about heaven and hell. A wise man by the name of Osho once said, "The real question is not if life exists after death. The real question is whether you are alive before death." Go on and meditate on that and click your heels 3 times while I ring this bell of enlightenment for that powerful meditative key of wisdom as you enter the corridors of your Solomon's Temple. Let's get to it, shall we? No time to waste. Take note, my navigators of the seven seas. Today, we're going to delve into the profound religious, historical, and esoteric significance of heaven. In ancient cultures, the concept of heaven, often viewed as a realm of divine presence and ultimate fulfillment, has been a cornerstone of humanity's spiritual quests throughout history. Each ancient civilization brought its own unique perspective to this ethereal concept, shaping how they understood life, death, and the cosmos. From the celestial gardens of ancient Mesopotamia to the heavenly abodes described in Hindu scriptures, visions of heaven have offered hope, guidance, and a moral framework for countless generations. As we investigate the diverse interpretations of heaven, we will explore how these beliefs influence rituals, ethics, and an understanding of the universe within different societies. This journey will not only illuminate cultural nuances of heaven, but also highlight its role in unifying communities and providing answers to humanity's deepest questions. By the end of this demonstration, I hope you will gain a richer appreciation for how ancient beliefs about heaven continue to resonate in our own modern landscape. Thus, one must understand that ancient cultures perceived heaven as a divine realm that transcended earthly existence, often viewed as the abode of gods or ancestors. In ancient civilizations, heaven represented idealism, order, and eternal life, contrasting with the chaotic nature of the physical world. These cultures often use celestial bodies such as stars and planets to symbolize their heavens, linking divine beings to natural phenomena and establishing a relationship between the cosmos and the human experience. Thus, in Mesopotamian cosmology, particularly in Sumerian, Akkadian, and Babylonian cultures, heaven was often represented as a distinct and layered structure that existed above the earthly realm. The Sumerians referred to heaven as Anu, named after the sky god Anu, who was considered the father of the gods. This divine hierarchy placed Anu at the highest celestial realm, highlighting his authority and dominion over fate and order. Heaven was viewed as a place of divine assembly where gods convened to discuss and dictate the fate of humanity. The concept of me, or divine laws, was significant in this context. These were the decrees that governed the universe and were held in the heavens. City-states often constructed ziggurat, step pyramid structures meant to bridge the gap between heaven and earth, illustrating their desire to connect with the divine. The relationship between heaven and earth was reciprocal. Humans offered prayers and sacrifices to appeal to the gods residing above them, seeking favor and protection for their cities and communities. Conversely, it was believed that the actions of humans could have repercussions in the celestial realm. Thus, the Mesopotamians emphasized the importance of maintaining harmony between these realms. Let's ring the bell for that. In contrast, ancient Egyptian cosmology offered a more intricate view of heaven. Heaven was personified in the figure of Nut, the sky goddess, who was often depicted as a woman arched over earth, Geb, in a cosmic embrace. Her body, adorned with stars, represented the celestial realm, while her separation from Geb illustrated the dualistic nature of existence. The Egyptians believed that the sky was a protective canopy nurturing life below. In Egyptian thought, the afterlife was intricately connected to the concept of heaven. This belief culminated in the notion of the field of reeds, Aru, where souls of the deceased sought eternal life. This paradise was seen as a heavenly reward for those who led righteous lives, aligning with the divine principles of Ma'at, truth, balance, and cosmic order. Moreover, the sun god Ra played a key role in Egyptian heaven. His daily journey across the sky symbolized rebirth and regeneration, and was a powerful metaphor for the cyclical nature of life and death. In death, the hope of resurrection was closely tied to the sun's journey, with the deceased often depicted in their quest to join Ra in the afterlife. Also, two prominent pre-Columbian ancient civilizations in the Americas, known as the Incas and Aztecs, had distinct views of heaven, which was shaped by their religious beliefs and cosmologies. For it was the Peruvian Incas, heaven, or Hanan, Hanapacha, was associated with the upper world, where the sun Inti resided. They believed that this celestial realm was the domain of the gods and ancestors, with a structured hierarchy that reflected their society organization. The Incas revered the sky as a source of life, agriculture, and prosperity, viewing it as an essential for their agricultural cycle. Their rulers, seen as intermediaries between the gods and the people, were believed to have divine connections that allowed them to access heavenly favor. In contrast, the Aztecs conceived of heaven as the home of their creator gods. Notable, Huitzilopochtli was the god of war and the sun. The Aztec view of the cosmos was more intricate. They believed in multiple heavens, with each level inhabited by different deities and spirits. They viewed heaven as a reward for the souls of brave warriors who would ascend to dwell with the gods, while ordinary souls would find peace in the afterlife as well. Rituals, especially human sacrifices, were central to ensuring favor from the divine and maintaining cosmic balance. Furthermore, in Christianity, heaven is often depicted as a place of eternal joy and peace, where believers experience the fulfillment of God's presence. Symbolically, it represents hope, salvation, and a fulfillment of God's promises. The New Testament describes heaven using vivid imagery, such as streets of gold and pearly gates, emphasizing the beauty and perfection of the celestial realm. Christians view heaven as the culmination of a life lived in faith, where the faithful are reunited with loved ones and experience everlasting joy, free from suffering and sin. It serves as a motivation for ethical living and faithfulness, reinforcing the belief in God's justice. Moreover, in Islam, heaven, or Jannah, symbolizes divine mercy and reward for those who adhere to Allah's teachings and lead a righteous life. Jannah is depicted as a lush paradise filled with rivers, gardens, and comforts, reflecting the bountiful rewards awaiting the faithful. The Quran describes different levels of Jannah, each corresponding to the deeds of individuals. The symbolism of heaven in Islam emphasizes not only physical pleasures, but also spiritual fulfillment and closeness to Allah. It serves as a motivation for Muslims to follow the 5 pillars of Islam and strive for righteousness, reinforcing the belief in divine justice and mercy. Let's ring the bell for that. Thus, in Freemasonry, heaven symbolizes transcendent realms of enlightenment, virtue, and moral integrity. It serves as a metaphor for the pursuit of truth and the quest for personal and spiritual growth. The concept of heaven in Masonic teachings aligns with the emphasis on the cultivation of one's character and the striving towards perfection. In these circles, heaven is often depicted through symbols such as the all-seeing eye, representing divine watchfulness and the idea that one's actions are observed by the higher power. The key Masonic symbols, the square and compass, symbolizes balance of earthly and spiritual pursuits, urging practitioners to align their actions with moral and ethical principles. Take note, masterminds, in esoteric traditions, particularly within Hindu and certain mystical perspectives. Kundalini represents a coiled energy located at the base of the spine, symbolizing the potential for spiritual awakening and enlightenment. The concept of heaven intertwines with Kundalini in that both represents elevated states of consciousness and ultimate realization. Heaven, from this perspective, is not merely a physical domain, but an internal state of being reached through spiritual evolution. The awakening of Kundalini is often viewed as a path to accessing this heaven within. As practitioners engage in meditation, yoga, and other spiritual practices, they aim to uncoil this energy, allowing it to ascend through the chakras, energy centers along the spine, culminating into the crown chakra. This rising energy symbolizes the journey to higher consciousness, akin to the soul's ascent to heavenly realms. Furthermore, the symbology of Kundalini is rich with imagery of serpents and fire, representing transformation and the burning away of ignorance. As Kundalini ascends, it ignites spiritual fire, illuminating the path of the seeker towards enlightenment and unity with the divine. The fiery aspect can also signify the purification process necessary to reach a heavenly state, shedding attachments and superficial desires in pursuit of a deeper connection with the cosmos. Ultimately, the Kundalini experience embodies the union of dualities, masculine and feminine, conscious and unconscious, leading to a state of oneness with the universe. When fully awakened, this energy can bring transcendental experiences and insights, facilitating an encounter with the divine essence of heaven within oneself. Thus, the esoteric interplay between Kundalini and heaven highlights the transformative journey towards spiritual awakening, emphasizing the true heaven resides within self, accessible through inner work and self-realization. But as we dive deeper further into the nucleus of Hinduism, we observe that heaven, or Svarga, is perceived as a temporary realm of pleasure and existence. distinct from the ultimate spiritual goal of moksha, or liberation from the cycle of birth and rebirth, samsara. Svarga is often depicted as a paradisical place, where souls enjoy the fruits of good karma after righteous living, filled with divine pleasure, celestial gardens, and beings like the devas, gods. However, in Hindu texts, which emphasizes that life in heaven is transient, and once accumulated good karma, it exhausts. Souls must reincarnate to continue their spiritual journey. This cyclical understanding of existence reflects the belief that true fulfillment lies not in heavenly pleasures, but in attaining moksha, which represents unity with the eternal, a state beyond pleasure and pain. I'm going to ring the bell for that, and I'm going to repeat that one more time. In Hindu texts, which emphasizes that life in heaven is transient and once accumulated good karma, which is exhausted, souls must reincarnate to continue their spiritual journey. This cyclical understanding of existence reflects the belief that true fulfillment lies not in heavenly pleasures, but in attaining moksha, which represents unity with the eternal, a state beyond pleasure and pain. Ultimately, while heaven is seen as a desirable, it is not the final goal. Rather, it serves as a stepping stone towards spiritual evolution and enlightenment in the Hindu worldview. Question: why are we talking about various meanings of heaven, and why should we concern ourselves with this information today? Answer: in alchemical traditions, heaven symbolizes the spiritual realm and the higher states of consciousness that the alchemist seeks to attain. It represents the ultimate goal of the alchemical work, the transformation of base self into a perfected, enlightened being, akin to the philosopher's stone. This transformation is often viewed as a spiritual ascension, where the alchemist bridges the material and the spiritual worlds. Heaven signifies purity, enlightenment, and the divine nature of existence. It invites humans to aspire towards inner fulfillment and a harmonization of opposites, such as the union of masculine and feminine energies, or the conjunction of spirit and matter. The alchemical process reflects this ascent through various stages, including calcination, dissolution, and coagulation, each one symbolizing a step towards achieving a more subtle understanding of the self and the universe. Moreover, heaven is often associated with the sun and gold, representing illumination and a manifestation of divine wisdom. In this context, achieving heaven is not merely a metaphysical or religious aspiration. It is a holistic journey towards self-realization and the perfection of both the spirit and the material world, culminating in a harmonious existence. Let the God repeat that one more time. Let me ring the bell for that. You do not want this to go over your head. Heaven is often associated with the sun and gold, representing illumination and a manifestation of divine wisdom. In this context, achieving heaven is not merely a metaphysical or religious aspiration. It is a holistic journey towards self-realization and the perfection of both the spirit and the material world, culminating in a harmonious existence. Thus, at its core, heaven embodies the idea of transcendence. It is often seen as a state of existence beyond the constraints of time and materiality. In many interpretations, heaven is not merely a location, but a condition of consciousness. Let me repeat that one more time. In many interpretations, heaven is not merely a location, but a condition of consciousness, an elevated state of awareness where the soul experiences a profound connection to the divine source. This esoteric understanding suggests that heaven is within reach for those who seek spiritual growth and enlightenment, acting as a mirror reflecting our innermost potential and divine nature. Symbolically, heaven is often associated with light, representing both knowledge and purity. Light is a prevalent motif across different doctrines. It signifies illumination of the mind and the cleansing of the spirit. In esoteric traditions, light symbolizes awakening and realization, a transition from ignorance to enlightenment, akin to the alchemical process of transforming base matter into gold. This gold is symbolic to the higher self, and this higher self is akin to Christ's consciousness, where heaven can be experienced within self. Let's ring the bell for that. I'm going to repeat that one more time, because that was a vital key to understanding this entire demonstration. Symbolically, heaven is often associated with light, representing both knowledge and purity. Light is a prevalent motif across different spiritual doctrines. It signifies illumination of the mind and a cleansing of the spirit. In esoteric traditions, light symbolizes awakening and realization, a transition from ignorance to enlightenment, akin to the alchemical process of transforming base matter into gold. This gold is symbolic to the higher self, and this higher self is akin to Christ's consciousness, where heaven can be experienced within self. This transformative journey is echoed in the concept of the inner light, where seekers strive to remove the veils of illusion and discover their true selves, ultimately leading them to their own personal heaven. Furthermore, the imagery of celestial bodies, particularly stars and planets, often evokes the idea of heaven. These celestial symbols represent divine order and the interconnectedness of all existence. Yet, the arcane concept of heaven transcends physical beliefs and rituals, representing a state of consciousness, spiritual awakening, and a union with the divine. In many traditions, heaven is not merely a place one goes after death, but instead symbolizes a higher state of being, characterized by love, harmony, and enlightenment. This understanding, my mighty masterminds, of heaven encourages the individuals to seek their true essence and foster the pursuit of inner peace and self-realization. Let me repeat that one more time. The arcane concept of heaven transcends physical beliefs and rituals, representing a state of consciousness, spiritual awakening, and union with the divine. In many traditions, heaven is not merely a place one goes after death, but instead symbolizes a higher state of being, characterized by love, harmony, and enlightenment. This understanding of heaven encourages individuals to seek their true essence and foster the pursuits of inner peace and self-realization. The mystical meaning of heaven suggests that it is a state of mind achievable in the present, not just in the afterlife. I'm reading the bell. Let me say that one more time. The mystical meaning of heaven suggests that heaven is a state of mind achievable in the present, not just in an afterlife. Moreover, by acknowledging heaven as a metaphor for higher consciousness, individuals can cultivate qualities that align with this ideal, such as compassion, forgiveness, and interconnectedness. This perspective encourages us to transcend our ego, foster a sense of unity with all living things and the universe. Thus, in today's world, where stress, division, and materialism often dominate our lives, embracing the arcane idea of heaven can offer profound benefits. It suggests a reminder to prioritize inner peace and personal growth over external validation. Through practices like mindfulness, meditation, and self-reflection, we can create a heaven on earth, developing resilience against negative emotions and conflicts. By understanding heaven as a state of being rather than a distant destination, we become empowered to navigate our own lives within the purpose and intention. This shift in perspective can inspire hope and elevate our actions, encouraging kindness and empathy in our interactions with others. Ultimately, recognizing the incorporeal significance of heaven can lead us to a more fulfilling existence, fostering a collective spiritual awakening that benefits not just the individual, but society as a whole. So, as always, in Solomon's temple, I leave you in peace with these powerful words. Heaven and hell are places that you make. They are not places that you just so happen to miraculously go. Let me repeat it one more time. Heaven and hell are places that you make. They are not just places that you miraculously go. Ashe, ashe, ashe.